Hello, I'm Dr. Tom Clary, a practicing dentist and the founder of Cirrus Dental, a dental subscription management platform. Today, I'll speak about how and why to create a subscription membership program that benefits you and your patients. Many of us have likely heard of membership programs, or we may have a colleague across town who offers a discount program, but haven't had the opportunity to learn much more than that. Others among us may offer a membership program but are looking for ways to enhance or grow their current service. I'm going to outline some important aspects in determining how the membership model can fit into your practice, as well as to give you some insight into my own experiences as I transitioned from a PPO to a fee for service practice. When COVID started and the closures were in their infancy, I was speaking to a local dentist during a PPE distribution event sponsored by the Mass Dental Society. He and I were talking, and he told me, we have lots of challenges and problems right now, but with every challenge, there are silver linings. We just need to find those opportunities. This discussion is about one of those silver linings. When I think about my office and what I can do to improve, I focus on how we can make things better, how we can make things more efficient, and how we can lower the cost to patients. When you look at game-changing companies such as Ford, who made the Model T less expensive than a team of horses, never mind the upkeep, or Apple, who made the iPhone that allows you to communicate all over the world, find any location, and manage your finances, all from an object the size of a deck of cards. Or Zoom, who allows you to have face-to-face meeting without hopping on a plane. They all provide a more efficient way of working and living, as well as significantly improving the investment return of their owners. These guiding principles can help to give a practice an advantage and to improve their economic outlook. Now, returning to the dental office, when you think about your front desk, are they improving the care you provide with all the requirements of filing different claims and the different guidelines of different insurance companies? You and your office may have agreed to reduce your fees with a particular insurance company. Are you or your patients better off because of this agreement? Is your life easier? Or are you able to provide care more efficiently because of this relationship? When you think about the premiums that patients or their employers pay for dental insurance, many insurance companies will retain 40 to 50% of the premiums paid to cover their administrative expenses, payments to executives, and their profits. Is this really the most efficient use of consumers' resources? The goal of this course is to help key stakeholders in practices, whether it be the owner, an associate dentist, the office manager, or front desk staff, or anyone else who wants to see the practice thrive, to identify opportunities to excel. One such opportunity that we will explore is dental membership programs, and in so doing, we will look at some of the key features a practice should consider and why they are important to the practice. We will also look at different revenue streams in office encounters, from cash to traditional insurance to PPOs, and in-office subscriptions and the behaviors associated with these different streams of revenue. Every practice faces rising costs, whether it be from suppliers who regularly increase the cost of supplies, or new products that promise a better outcome, to staff who want wage increases for new skills they've acquired, or a change in the cost of living, to the landlord who reports he can get more rent from someone else looking to move into the neighborhood. We all must deal with the regular increase in expenses, never mind the shocks that sometimes come along, such as we are now experiencing with the COVID crisis related to the availability and pricing of PPE. One of the major insurers has now reduced reimbursements by nearly 10% and is indicating their intention to make additional reductions a few more times over the next several years. Other dental insurers are following suit or not providing increases year after year. In conflict with these moves is the dentist's desire to increase their income at the end of the day. Thinking about the challenges presented in the last slide, it's helpful to look at the breakdown of a dental office's finances. A typical dental office operates in thirds. About 1/3 of income goes to paying staff. 1/3 goes to other overhead, such as dental supplies, rent, insurance, and so on. And the dentist is left with about 1/3. So, if I collect $300,000 in charges, after I pay all of the bills, I'm left with $100,000. Shown another way, the financial picture of the office is a balanced equation, where if one line changes, such as revenue or supply costs, it affects the bottom line. And conversely, if you want to change the bottom line, you need to affect at least one of the items above. For example, if the office staff want a 2% raise, then either revenue needs to increase or one of the other two items must decrease. This is just simple accounting. But it gives you something to think about when you try to see what opportunities may exist. Thomas Edison, the famous inventor of the light bulb, used to talk about how people like to complain and talk about their problems. But what made him different was that he took those complaints and found solutions. Think about how much more you can do with a light. Not just that you can practice dentistry after it gets dark, but you can see in the mouth or set composite for a broken front tooth. This all started with someone who took a complaint and found a solution. So let's start with our first challenge, or complaint. The insurance company who's insisting on lowering your reimbursements. I used to be a CPA, working for one of the world's largest accounting firms. What I learned was that they had systems for everything and great training. My first boss, in my first week, told me that lots of people would call asking if something was a good idea or a bad idea. He told me there's only one answer to that question. It depends. Then it was my responsibility to research the topic and provide insight and a recommendation that was likely much more involved than was it good or bad. Clients were more than pleased to pay our fees and were proud to say they went to us for advice and help. Clients were happy with what we did. We added value. We made their businesses more efficient. We solved problems. But I wasn't happy. I didn't like working for a big firm, always being told what I was going to work on, being shipped off to San Francisco, Buffalo, Washington, Chicago for weeks on end. So I decided to go to dental school. A great decision. And I'd learned a lot in the process. So now was my time to take what I learned at the accounting firm and analyze the insurance company deal. Was it worth it? Did it add value for my practice? What did I get? And would I be happy with the service they were providing? Or was there a better option? With $300,000 in revenue, a 15% reduction equates to $45,000. Since our equation is balanced, what will balance out the equation? In many offices, it's the dentist's income that takes the hit in this scenario. Faced with a reduction in reimbursement rates, one option would be to alter your revenue. If your rate of reimbursement per procedure changes, you could think about increasing your production, but at a lower margin per procedure. With this in mind, if you accept a 15% reduction in the rate for each procedure, you would need to increase your production by 55% to maintain the same take-home pay at the end of the week. Are you willing or able to work for less? What's the time value of your money? Or more simply put, would you like to work more hours? If you'd like to work more hours, do you have the capacity to be able to accomplish this? Meaning, can your office accommodate that kind of an increase? Now, the inverse is also interesting to look at. If you were to increase your reimbursement rate, what would you need to do to maintain the same level of take-home pay? Using the example of 15%, you could actually work significantly less and make the same amount. Or maybe you want to work the same amount, but are happy accepting the increased compensation. For the purposes of our discussion, we're going to assume that you cannot work anymore and do not want to work any less. So, accepting the reduction in reimbursement rates would have an effect on the dentist's take-home pay. You likely have many different patients with insurance benefits in your office. Some have traditional dental insurance or insurance with whom you're not accepting any reduction in fees. You may have contracted with other insurance providers agreeing to a lower level of compensation than your standard charges. Oftentimes, these reductions range from nothing up to nearly half of your standard fee schedule rates, and the insurance company typically provides the agreed-upon fee schedule. Other times, an insurance company will send a letter asking you to join their network for a certain percent reduction in the fee schedule you've already set. 15% is a common offer in these letters. Many dentists consider this offer, thinking that the insurance company is offering them new patients who are waiting to come streaming into their office once the contract is signed. So if the insurance company is discounting your fees by 25%, it's almost as if you are paying them a 25% referral fee. Except this fee is paid year after year for your existing patients too, not just the new ones. Before signing up with a new PPO, have you ever checked if you have any existing patients who have this type of insurance benefit? Are they saying they're going to leave? What's the effect of signing a contract with the insurance company? You are reducing your take-home pay. Where do most of your new patients come from? In my office, the best new patients are referred by existing patients. We get some, but not many new patients who found us on the insurance list. And they're not the patients who keep coming year after year for comprehensive care. So the question becomes, what is the consumer really looking for? What do they want with insurance? Likely, they want a monthly payment that will cover their basic needs and remove the anxiety of the unknown dental expense. What's the insurance company saying? We have lots of patients who are demanding lower fees, and we are providing those lower fees. So do I trust what the insurance company is saying and that I need to accept lower reimbursements? Is the end consumer, the patient, really better off with the insurance company in the mix? Do you have any ideas what these numbers are? So, as I told you before, I went to dental school. I was a CPA and used to work on taxes. So an interesting thing about nonprofits, they have to publish their tax returns. The largest insurance company in my practice just happened to be a nonprofit. So I found their tax returns and started looking at their finances. Those numbers at the bottom of the slide represent the profits and payments to administrators at the insurance company, and they show that over the last several years, the profits and administrative costs went from a relatively small percentage to nearly 40% of the premiums that people were paying into the insurance company. Wow, that is a huge change. This indicates that if a patient pays $1,000 a year for dental insurance, only $600 will actually go to dental care. The other $400 will stay with the inefficient insurance company. Thinking about this from another vantage point, if the insurance company is like a vendor for my office, is the offer they make reasonable? And is the cost of doing business with them acceptable? Thinking about the front desk, it takes time to file each and every insurance claim. And when something is returned, it takes more time. Is the cost associated with the insurance company worth it to your office? If you didn't have to spend this time, what would you do? Is the cost of goods or the discounts you're accepting a fair fee? Have you changed anything because of the reimbursements you're being offered? Without these restrictions, would you make any different choices? In addition, you have the added cost of processing the claims for the insurance company, the computer and filing fees, the staffing costs. If you consider the discounts to be like a referral fee, and then add in the costs associated with processing claims and collecting, do you think you're paying a fair fee? Or would you like to make any different choices? The question can be boiled down to, do you have buyer's remorse? Or is this a relationship you are proud to tell others about? Thinking about different purchases in your life, you could probably list some that make you very happy, and others that you wish were otherwise. Do you have a Tesla or an iPhone? What do you think about them? How do they change your life? Are they worth it? Would you say the same about some or all of the insurance companies with whom you have a relationship? I have a lot of different patients, and one of the things I like about dentistry is that I get to know my patients. We talk about lots of different things, and I learn lots from them. I learn that their mouth and their oral condition. I learn about what they would like to see in their smile, but I also try to learn about what and how they think so I can understand their motivations. One particular patient, a very successful man in real estate, came to me one day, and he likes to joke around a lot. And when he came in, it usually wasn't for, I see this little line around the gums, should I worry about this? It was, I just broke off my front tooth to the gum line, and my son is getting married tomorrow, he said. Now, he said to me, I don't see problems. I see solutions. I thought, this is one of those times. What's the opportunity here? I like dentistry. I like my staff. I like my patients. I like providing excellent care with the best materials and labs. And I enjoy the freedom that dentistry offers, allowing me to treat what I want to treat and refer what I want someone else to treat. Seeing the margins that the insurance company used to operate on compared to what they are now extracting from the patients, the opportunity is to create a more efficient model for both me and the patient. But how? I started analyzing hundreds of patients, those who had insurance, those who did not, those for whom I participated with their insurance company, and those for whom I did not. I also looked at costs of different insurance plans versus the benefits that patients could receive. It was astounding. Dental insurance is a bad deal from a financial perspective for the patient. However, it does tell a lot about human behavior. I learned that patients who have some type of outside funding source, which could be insurance, but it could also be an HSA or FSA or an employer benefit, would receive a higher dollar amount of dental care on average. I also learned that although I thought patients were coming in every 6 months, they were not. They would cancel. They would reschedule. They would have their hair done, or walk the dog, or realize it was a sunny day, or have a work obligation. I would get nothing when they didn't show, but the insurance company would keep getting paid. Often, when patients would retire, they would ask what they should sign up for. Usually, what they signed up for only covered cleanings. But retirees liked the budgetable monthly amount. I also saw that patients who were connected to my practice, who were regular, repeat consumers, were much more valuable to my practice. How much was I making from an emergency visit versus the patient who had only been in for hygiene visits for the last 5 years, but now showed the hygienist their cracked tooth that now needed a crown? The loyal patient who was regularly paying was much more profitable because of the efficiencies generated by that long-term relationship. The patient knew what to expect, and we knew what to expect. This allowed us to function well and profit from the loyalty we had each provided. Now, thinking back to my first job and my first boss that I mentioned earlier, this was a question that merits some research. Looking at the different ways that patients finance their dental care provided some interesting insight. Patients with an outside source of payment would seek, on average, more production in dental care per year. Yes, that's right, more production. but not necessarily more profit for my practice. An outside source of financing could be dental insurance, but it could also be an HSA or FSA or third-party financing. It did not seem to make much difference if it was a company with whom I participated or which I did not participate. The important aspect was that there was a way to fit wanted care into a budget. Some insurance companies were associated with patients who sought significantly less dental care and others who sought more. But my conclusion from all this analysis was that it is important to help provide a mechanism for patients to afford the dental care they need or want. The other interesting conclusion was that there were patients who might be absent from my practice for a period of time who had traditional dental insurance, and they continued to pay monthly for this dental insurance, even though they were not receiving any treatment. Now, the team at my front desk is very good about booking patients for their next appointment before they leave the office, and I have spoken with many other offices who report similar policies and praise their administrative team's results in making sure their patients stay connected with their office and have their 6-month hygiene appointment. But have you ever stopped to check how often your 6-month patients are really coming in? What do you think is the most stressful time for the front desk team? It's likely the time when you or your hygienist is not booked because you're standing in front of them telling them what they should be doing or asking why they didn't do this or that. As a result, they're likely really good at moving people around to make sure any gaps in your team's schedule get filled. But if you have everyone booked for 6 months out, what are they spending their time doing? Well, the second most stressful time in their day is likely the patient who has to walk the dog, get their hair done, stay at work, is sick for the 9th time, or who lives on the same road as the nail factory because that's the only possible way they could have yet another flat tire that's preventing them from keeping their appointment. So when I stopped and analyzed my patient's behavior, I found that even though they're booked before they leave the office, the typical 6-month patient doesn't really show up that often. You've probably all heard or checked your FICO score at some point. It's your credit score. One way to look at it is how good are you at paying your regular bills every month? The income stream from someone who makes regular payments every month is more valuable than someone who might pay this month but not the next, and probably will the month after that, but who knows after that. Why is the regular payment more valuable? Because it's more efficient. Less work is needed for the regular payment compared to the payment that you're not sure if it's going to arrive, and then you have to employ collection agents, attorneys, and other costs. Thinking about this in dental terms, what's the valuable payment that patients make surrounding dental care? It's the regular monthly payment they make each month that covers their cleanings and exams and maybe, but not always, something else. Do you get that payment every month? Or does someone else? So after all this analysis, I learned a few things from the insurance model. Regular payments are valuable. In fact, on a dollar-for-dollar basis, a regular monthly payment is much more valuable because it is more efficient in that it does not require the costs associated with collecting a variable payment, and the office maintains their income even when the patient stretches out the time between hygiene appointments. Providing a way to pay for dental care that minimizes the disruption of a patient's budget supports increased production, and this can apply to both smaller dollar value as well as high dollar value care. People are creatures of habit. Once you start something, it takes work to change it. Have you ever signed up for a gym or Peloton membership in January as part of your New Year's resolution and thought about, how are you exercising in August? Many people are still paying the monthly workout fee, yet they're exercising outdoors on their own in the summer. If you are closer to retirement or thinking about transitioning your practice, do you think a potential buyer would be happier purchasing a practice that has a known monthly income, or one where the new doctor is hoping that the patients continue to come to see him and pay once you have moved on to greener pastures? Thinking of that FICO score, the known regular payment could be worth a lot more to you when selling. Using another example, what if we become an unrestricted provider? Another thing I learned from the insurance companies is that they are great at framing a conversation. There's an entire vocabulary that is framed around making the dentist look like the bad guy. Terms like participate and non-participating. You're free to speak freely and make your own decisions. So I coined the term unrestricted provider. An unrestricted provider is one who refers a patient to the specialist they think is most appropriate, is a dentist who recommends the treatment they believe is in the best interest of the patient, is the dentist who selects the lab that will provide the best results for the individual patient, is the dentist who offers a fair fee for the service they provide. In becoming an unrestricted provider, the restriction of only receiving $950 for the crown you charge others $1,500 is removed. In effect, you're giving yourself a raise when you become an unrestricted provider. But what does this raise mean for your practice? If you were to increase the amount you could collect on each crown from $950 to $1,500 because you chose to become an unrestricted provider for your patients, you're increasing your revenue by 58%. When we think back to the previous illustration in terms of the balanced equation with income and expenses translating down to the dentist's income, if you only change revenue, that increased revenue would go directly to the dentist. Viewed from another perspective, if you're happy with your lifestyle and your finances, this increased revenue could go into your bank account, or it could allow you to work significantly less while still maintaining the same level of income. Or it could allow you to make many other changes to your practice. Becoming an unrestricted provider allows you a great deal of freedom and opportunity, as well as potential benefits for your patients as well. So now was my time to analyze the insurance company deal. Was it worth it? Did it add value for my practice? What did I get? And would I be happy with the service they were providing? Or was there a better option? Thinking about the two examples above, where I'm facing declining reimbursements from an insurance company, or the prospect of significantly increased income by rejecting the insurance company offers and becoming an unrestricted provider, is there a way that I can differentiate myself in the marketplace to offer a valuable addition to the market that's appealing to consumers? What I came up with, and what I think you should consider, is a way to lower the cost of dental care by eliminating the inefficiencies of traditional dental insurance. This is accomplished by cutting out the middleman, but giving the consumer what they want, a fixed monthly payment, and perhaps offering this option to their employer too. You can offer a program that's flexible enough to allow for both regular recurring care that is known and fixed, this could be hygiene care and radiographs, as well as a way to pay for any other needed or wanted care, such as crowns or whitening. The former would be paid for by a recurring monthly charge, and the latter funded by a monthly contribution to a growing nest egg of funds that's waiting for the patient to utilize them. This combined approach does not cause the patient to have to make choices between something which already exists in their budget, such as dining or a vacation, and dental care, and allows the practice to profit from normal human behavior. This is a membership subscription program. There are lots of different flavors and variations available, but in essence, there are just a few things that are needed, and a few others that drive success and profit through efficiency. Some of the choices that providers make may serve their market but do not necessarily promote efficiency. My goal is to help you to understand the parts that are key to efficiency and profit, so that you can then think about tailoring whatever specifics fit your local market and patient population. To start a membership subscription program, you're going to need a contract with the patient laying out specifically what's included and what's not. Simple and straightforward for both you and the patient can work well. In creating your offering, how do state and federal rules and regulations play into the mix? There's a huge variation among states. Are there things you can offer and can't offer? What will you use as a baseline to establish the terms you're offering? So you're going to want a system that's completely customizable to fit the needs of your office and your patients. And you should always consult your own attorney about your specific needs and concerns. One general principle is that membership subscription programs are designed to provide known services at a regular interval. They are not insurance. They're not designed to protect the patient against an unknown risk, such as a cavity. A membership subscription program is designed to provide patients the ability to spread out the cost of regular known care, such as 6-month hygiene appointments and regular x-rays, into a more manageable monthly cost. Second, efficiency is created when you automate the process. A service that collects all of the funds and automatically deposits the income into your account is much more efficient than having your front desk create bills, mail them, receive them, post individual checks, and then chase after patients who are late or forgot to pay. Third, you need a system to manage the process from the time a patient shows interest to completing their contract, collecting monthly payments, overseeing any nest egg savings programs, and allowing patients to update their accounts independently. You could create all of these systems on your own, but it would likely be much more efficient for you to find a service that provides everything you need and want. In summary, a membership program allows patients a way to receive regular known care. Typically, this is preventive care provided in the hygiene department. The membership program provides the patient a manageable monthly payment and you a regular stream of income. The membership program makes less work for your front desk so they can focus on what is important to you. What a membership program is not is insurance. It's better. Some of the extras you may want to consider offering to add value and make your practice stand out are a way to fund other needs or wants. Think of this as a nest egg or savings vehicle that's available to the patient. The nest egg should be fully refundable to the patient. If the patient doesn't use it or moves away, they keep any savings they've built up. You may want to consider a program that works in concert with specialists and other providers. In many families, the husband will see one dentist and the wife another on the other side of town. Or you may have a patient who alternates with you and the periodontist for maintenance visits. A membership program available at both offices could allow you to build a loyal following with both of your offices. And as an added bonus, you could extend the efficiencies of your membership program by using a platform that allows employers to pay for patients' membership obligations. Many dentists think a membership program is a discount plan. It's not. It's a more efficient way of allowing patients to pay for dental services. However, if you want to market it using a discount, this is something many practices find appealing. Think of Bed Bath & Beyond versus Amazon. At Bed Bath & Beyond, everyone always has their coupon before shopping. At Amazon, there are no coupons. But when you compare prices at both the Bed Bath & Beyond Plus coupon, it's the same as Amazon without the coupon. They just use different sales tactics. Dental offices may choose to act similarly. Most patients don't know the cost of care. What scares them is the unknown. Patients worry that when they show up for a cleaning, they're going to leave owing thousands of dollars more. your membership program can eliminate this anxiety by telling the patient upfront what they're going to get and what it will cost. The choices you make in designing your plan will motivate certain behavior. I just told you that a membership program is not a discount plan. However, some offices decide to offer a nest egg savings program, and to encourage patients to contribute to the nest egg, they offer a bonus, say 10 to 20%, so that every dollar contributed to the nest egg is worth 20% more. This is done to motivate patients to contribute to the nest egg, so that they have funds available for care when they need or want it. But the bonus is capped to whatever funds the patient has contributed to the nest egg. This also motivates patients to seek care at your practice rather than shopping around, because they do not want to lose the benefits of their bonus. Additionally, ask yourself, why are you offering a membership subscription program? If you think you need to discount your fees, then maybe they're just too high and you should lower them. If you think you're offering a fair fee for your services, then why do you want to discount them? The question you might consider asking is, how do I create value? A membership subscription program creates value by offering a more efficient platform to receive dental care, and perhaps you can afford to charge less because you eliminate the waste associated with dealing with traditional insurance. But a discount just for the sake of a discount does not necessarily add value. The next point to consider is monthly versus annual. Some offices offer annual plans and some offer monthly subscriptions. The value is found in a monthly program that automatically renews month after month. Annual programs tend to be found in offices who are trying to set up a program on their own but don't have time to devote to the plan every month. The benefit to a patient is in finding a budgetable, regular amount, and for the office, in making this available to the most patients possible. Someone who can shell out several $100s at once limits the number of people who will consider joining. Additionally, what happens if they haven't had their 2 cleanings? Do they ask you if you could see them a month or 2 late? If they've had their 2 cleanings, do they delay several months to renew? In either of these scenarios, your practice is losing out. If you're looking to leverage the efficiencies of the membership platform, you should join with a platform provider that can use economies of scale and automate much of the work, passing these savings along to your office. And the impact on your bottom line can be significantly enhanced in both the short term as well as at the time of sale by having a steady, recurring revenue source that automatically connects and renews. We've already touched a lot of this, but an important consideration is who is going to run the subscription membership program in your office. Will it be your staff, or will you contract with a platform provider? When you compare staffing costs to service charges, you may find that service charges are a fraction of the staffing costs. However, there is a wide variation in pricing between platforms. Additionally, are you interested, and do you have the time to continually monitor the systems, rules, and regulations for your offering, or would you prefer to have someone else deal with these details? On top of this, a service provider can help you to understand the specifics of your locality. Are there certain things you can or cannot offer? Are there additional offerings you may want to consider? A variety of membership platform service providers exist today. In selecting a provider, a key consideration is cost. Remember how we introduced the value in a membership program because it's more efficient? So in comparing different providers, you'll want to look at the various charges they may require. Some have an enrollment fee. Others say they have an enrollment fee but always waive it. Why is this here? And what do you get for it? And what do you get after? There's a cost to enroll a new office, so this could be justified. But if all the cost is upfront, what motivation does the company have to support your growth and success down the line? And how does this fee play out on a per-patient basis? Many times there's an annual fee. Other platforms have a fixed monthly fee regardless of the number of subscribers you have. Thinking about your office, how many subscribers do you think you'll have? a good place to start is probably 50 to 200 subscribers per dentist, if you get buy-in from your staff and market your offering. You could get many more and perform even better, but this is probably a good place to start. Economically, switching 100 patients from a PPO into a membership program could net your practice an additional $20,000 or more. This also brings up a potential way to analyze the fees different providers charge. I would suggest you should break out the total charges per year and divide it by the number of expected patients for your plan. The differences in per patient charges among the different providers are staggering. So, you then need to ask, what are you getting for this cost, and is that value worth it to you? Other platforms may charge a simple percentage fee on the income you receive through the subscription, or a per patient fee that can be billed monthly or annually. Lastly, check to see if there are any cancellation or inactivity fees. If the program doesn't work for your office, what are your options to change things for the better? I believe that the best option is to look for a platform where your goals align with their goals. If you do well, the platform does well, where there's little upfront cost to start your program, and where you have support but are open to completely customize the subscription program for your office and your patients. Who's running the membership platform? Thinking about this can help you in a couple of ways. First, do they understand dentistry and your needs? Second, are your interests aligned? If you have common goals, then you can both prosper. As we discussed before, there is the membership subscription that covers no needed care, which typically means cleanings, exams, and x-rays. But patients will likely also need other care. And thinking about how patients pay for this care is an additional way that you can add value for your patients, as well as add value to your practice. Does your membership platform provide the option for a nest egg or savings vehicle that encourages patients to have money set aside so that when they do need or want care, it does not create a strain on their budgets? A platform that offers this feature can offer you the opportunity to increase your income even more. As a reminder, the basic idea is to create efficiency by eliminating the burdens of the big insurance companies. This way, your patients pay less and you make more. Stepping back, I'd like to tell you about what I did in my practice and what happened. I'm a practicing dentist, and I was faced with some significant challenges when one of the major dental insurers announced significant changes. It forced me to make decisions that I had thought about for years, but that could create a bit of anxiety because I didn't know anyone else who had made the same decisions I was contemplating, and I wasn't sure what would happen. The insurance company had announced a nearly 10% reduction in reimbursements, and that this was just the beginning. They expected 3 more reductions over the next few years. So, using our example from above, where the practice receives $300,000 in revenue, this would equate to a $30,000 loss in income to me. So I started to do a little work and some math. I figured I had a mortgage, a car, a retirement to save for, my kids wanted to go to college, staff to pay, and the list goes on and on for what I'm financially obligated to do at this point. So if I want to keep the same level of income, what do I need to do? I did some calculations. And when I think about replacing the 10% reduction in reimbursement, I would need to work 30% more to make that up. That's a lot more time, and my office doesn't have the capacity to handle that kind of increase now. Never mind the additional decreases that the insurance company has graciously agreed to in the next couple of years. So what are my other options? Close shop? That doesn't seem like a viable option, and I definitely would not be better off financially with no income. Could I say no? Do I have the stomach for it? I've worked hard to bring the practice to this point, and now I'm going to kick out 1/3 of my patients. This sounds ludicrous, but will that actually happen? If I say no, what would that mean? Up until now, the insurance company has required that I discount my fees by a certain percent. I have procedures where I'm losing money. So if I were to reject the insurance company's offer, it would be like raising my fees for these patients by 25%. I'm thinking patients will never go for it. They're way too fee sensitive. Or maybe this is worth looking into. I have lots of patients who have dental insurance with whom I don't participate, and they gladly come to the office. I have lots of patients who have no dental insurance, and they gladly come to see me. If I sit down and look at the numbers, what would be the effect of walking away? What if some stayed and some left? And what would the effect of the 25% raise be for rejecting the insurance company's restricted fee schedule? Wow. So here's the math. That $300,000 in revenue with a 25% effective raise from rejecting the restricted fee schedule of the insurance company is really worth $375,000 to me. I could lose 60% of my patients and still make the same amount I would be making with the proposed reduced fee schedule. I'll bet you some of my patients would stay, or maybe there'd be something I could do to help encourage them to stay, some way that I could add additional value to the equation. Losing 60% of my patients seems like a more reasonable risk to manage. Now came the big move. I had my plan and my opportunity. I was going to switch to become an unrestricted provider. That's the term I coined. I was concerned because I saw the conversation that the insurance company was creating. Everything they said was circled around them. And if you spoke their terms, you were boxed into making it look like you were the bad guy. My concern was that the insurance company kept on placing more and more restrictions onto the dentistry I could provide my patients. At one point, I received a notice that told me I could only refer patients to specialists approved by the insurance company. I couldn't even talk to the patients about other options. Why was the insurance company restricting me from providing the best options to the patient? I decided to create an open dialogue with my patients about what we were doing, why we were doing it, and what we expected. I needed to prepare my staff for the change. I'd been mentioning in staff meetings for several months that I was contemplating the move to become an unrestricted provider and leaving the insurance company's advertised network. So it wasn't a surprise to them. They had questions along the way, but rolling out the program and discussing it at multiple points helped everyone to get comfortable with the idea. I needed to prepare the patients for the change. When I called the insurance company to ask them about changing our status and what and how it would happen, there were lots of communications where they seemed to be saying things that were contradictory to what my contract said, and that would try to lead me down a path of doom and gloom. There were conversations that seemed unethical, if not illegal, but they were trying, which seemed to show the value that our practice had to the insurance company and their 40% cut of patient premiums. We wrote a letter to all of our patients explaining the change, explaining how the insurance company was reducing the benefits they were paying, how they were expecting to reduce the benefits further, how we wanted to continue to provide the best care possible for each individual patient, and how we were becoming an unrestricted provider as of a certain date. We also explained that the insurance company, as part of their reductions and changes, would no longer pay us directly, but would send payments to the patient in a few weeks. We emphasized that we still welcomed the patients in our office and thanked them for the trust they had placed in us, for providing them care, and that going forward, we would expect them to pay for care upfront at the time of their visit. But we would submit a claim to their insurance company. We also told them they would likely receive a letter from the insurance company advising them to switch dentists, and asked if they would provide us with a copy of any correspondence they received. But we reassured them that they were always welcome in our practice. The conversation became us, patient and dentist, who knew and trusted each other, against them, big, heartless insurance company. It was interesting. I actually learned something from the insurance company about directing a conversation and creating the us versus them, where the insurance company always tried to tell me I was the bad guy, but in the eyes of the patient, the insurance company was the bad guy. The big thing we did in the letter to the patients is that we emphasized that we know there are problems with your insurance, but we have a solution that you may want to consider. We're offering a membership program in our office that we believe will save you significant money and will allow you to pay a reasonable monthly amount automatically. We outlined the program for them to review and consider. We also had lots of in-person and telephone conversations with the patients, explaining what we were doing and why. Some patients asked questions, most didn't. The biggest concern expressed was that patients wanted to make sure they could keep seeing us, or at least their favorite hygienist. Our goals were to create a more efficient model to provide high quality service and focus on the patient. We initially decided to create a simple offering: preventive, which covered cleanings, exams, and x-rays, and complete, which had all of preventive plus a nest egg that allowed patients to set aside money for other dental care should they ever want or need it. We thought this simple plan would help our patients to understand what we were doing, as well as to help the staff ease into the program and effectively be able to communicate with our patients about the program. With the nest egg, we wanted to motivate patients to contribute so they would have funds available for wanted or needed dental care, so we adopted a 20% bonus. The bonus meant that for every $100 contributed to their nest egg, if the patient spent it on dental care in our office, we'd value the contribution as $120. One of the benefits was that this limited our exposure. If a patient needed $20,000 of care, the bonus only applied to funds they had already contributed to their nest egg. We also framed the conversation around this with a reason of how you can stay in our practice. We wanted to focus our patients on the positive. I looked at our market, at our regular fees, at patients' insurance benefits, both in-network and out-of-network, and cash-paying patients, and came up with a pricing strategy of $30 a month for preventive care every 6 months. It was a simple number. It allowed the typical patient to save significantly compared to what they would pay with an insurance company, and it allowed us to make more based on both the pricing as well as the expected changes in schedule or cancellations that surround a significant number of patients, because we were still getting paid even if they changed. We also created a similar option for our perio patients who are on a more frequent recall interval. We started the perio option shortly after the initial rollout because we found there was a significant demand. Some of the other things we thought about were, how was the patient going to pay? We could set up ACH transactions and transfer the funds from their checking account to ours, or we could use a credit card processor. The downside to a credit card is that there's an added expense, and our goal is efficiency. We found that almost all of our patients chose the ACH option because it's less expensive. We do have a credit card option and pass this charge along to the patients. We offer the nest egg bonus to encourage savings and preparedness. And we were very upfront with patients. This is in place of insurance. Some people ask if they can use this with insurance, but it wouldn't make sense for the patient to have both, and our goal was to eliminate inefficiencies associated with the time processing insurance claims, etc. So we tell patients if they have insurance, they're free to file for reimbursements as they see fit, but that's something that they would oversee. A couple of patients have work benefits that give them a cash payout if they show they've received dental care, and they submit receipts for their care, but it's not insurance per se. We're also upfront that if the patient wants to leave, they can at any time. If they sign up, have a cleaning the same day, and then decide to leave the next, that's okay. There's no penalty, but this is designed to be fair for everyone. So if they decide to leave, they're responsible for the care they have received as part of the subscription in the last 12 months at our regular fees, less anything they've paid as part of the subscription. Now we'd made our educated decision. We'd informed our patients in advance. The staff was educated and prepped for conversations with patients. We just had to wait and wait and wait. It was tough. Would I be going on vacation or making a retirement contribution this year? Would I lose a majority of my patients? You name it, if you can worry about it, it probably went through my head. But I'd done lots of research. I had a plan that was supported by numbers. I had prepared and made what appeared to be the best decision. So what was the benefit of worrying? I'm here to tell you. So you can probably guess I have some type of story. About 10 to 15% of patients left. There were a few vocal patients, but if you think about all the patients your front desk sees in a day, what sticks out in their head? The 39 patients who said nothing, but had a great experience in your office, or the one patient who was irate about something? Likely they remember the one. So there were definitely a number of conversations that the front desk was having with patients, but as they were tracking those conversations, they were a lot less than we were expecting. And when the insurance company started sending out the letters to patients telling them that they should leave our practice, it was confusing for some patients, but they'd already been prepared and they were expecting the letters and shared them with us. The language was confusing at best. A few patients did decide to leave. One in particular was upset, told us she was leaving, but a couple of months later returned for multiple crowns, not having gone anywhere else. Now our revenue was up because we were no longer suffering from heavy reductions in our reimbursements. Our accounts receivables were better managed because we were collecting payments up front rather than waiting several weeks for an insurance company to pay, sending out a bill and then hoping the patient would pay on the first round. And the front desk wasn't facing the big hassles from the insurance company who was rejecting or reducing payments. Have you ever noticed how when you call the insurance company, you wait on hold forever and you likely don't receive a great answer from the insurance representative? But when the patient calls, somehow they seem to get a better answer from the insurance company. Oh, if there are any non-dentists, you should stop listening for a minute. The year-end bonus to our team more than doubled. I learned that patients really value the relationship that they have with the dental team, not with the unknown big insurance executive, and that by offering a solution to a problem, by creating a membership program in our office, we enhanced the patient value and the bond with our office as well as our bottom line. My takeaway from this experience was that a membership program allows you to not only grow your patient base by creating a new offering, but allows you options and freedom should you want to change your status with any PPOs. A membership program allows a dentist to increase their revenue and income and create a more valuable revenue stream that's regular and steady, month after month, while also allowing the freedom to control your fee schedule. Finally, a membership program can decrease the workload on your front desk by eliminating the hassles and lost time associated with dental insurance, as well as decreased collection costs by automating the process with a membership platform. If you'd like to take the quiz to receive CE credit for this course, you can click the Take Quiz link below. Now that we've identified the problem and a general way to address it with a membership program, I want to show you the specifics of how I addressed it in my practice. And I'll direct you to the quiz again at the end of this video. I think it's important to show you the best tools to start a successful membership program before we go. Since we're going to take a hands-on approach here, in a few minutes, I'm going to open up the platform I've been using in my practice. I'm using Cirrus Dental. Cirrus Dental is the best, most efficient, and cost-effective dental membership platform available. We identified what goes into a membership program, from marketing to collecting money to managing the program. Cirrus Dental offers a great platform to take care of everything you need to run a membership program. And Cirrus Dental lets you do this at a fraction of the cost of managing the program yourself or using an alternate platform. Cirrus provides great, accessible marketing material, fully automates membership payment collection, and provides a simple, intuitive, and secure website to manage your membership program. Let's take a look at each of these aspects, starting with the marketing support. A membership program is most effective if both new and existing patients know about it and can sign up for it. We've found that most patients want to sign up online via your website. Cirrus has a simple tool that lets you put a widget on your website that patients can use to sign up for a membership with your office. The patient clicks on the widget button and is taken to a web page Cirrus has customized with your office information and details about the specific membership options. For example, this is my page, outlining what Cirrus is, our subscription options with what's included, and an easy way to sign up. And similarly for our preventive plan. Cirrus also has customized print material that you can give to patients in your practice. And if you're looking to attract new patients to your practice, Cirrus will help you design a marketing plan. Once you've signed up new patients, the Cirrus Dental platform fully automates payment and membership renewal. Cirrus automatically charges the patients each month. You don't need to worry about this at all. And then it automatically deposits the payments into your account. They have a great system set up that takes most of the administrative burden of running the membership program off of your staff. And once you show your staff how easy it is, they'll be asking you why you didn't start a membership program sooner. In terms of the patient membership agreements, the Cirrus platform is set up so that the patient agreement automatically renews at the end of the term. And Cirrus provides sample agreements that you can use that are designed to be fair for both you, the practice, and the patient. I also want to quickly show you the Cirrus Dental platform. It's really intuitive and straightforward to use. Cirrus offers training, of course, but a lot of our clients find the platform so easy to use that they don't need the training. There's an accounting section, so you can see the patient payments and a patient list where you can view and edit patient information, and a dashboard that allows you to track how your membership is going. Now, after you've made the choice to offer patients a membership program, be sure to get in touch with Cirrus Dental for the platform and support you need to make your membership program a success. Like I said earlier, starting a membership program has been great for my practice, and Cirrus Dental provides the foundation, the platform, and support that I needed to make the membership program a huge success. One of Cirrus's best account managers is quite familiar with the situation insurance companies have been putting dentists in, and should be glad to talk directly to any continuing education course attendees about how Cirrus can help their practices. You can contact her at natalie@mycirrusdental.com. Give her a call at 413-779-5709, or visit the Cirrus Dental website at mycirrusdental.com to learn more and schedule a webinar about how Cirrus Dental can help make your membership program a success.